Hey guys, welcome back to Blue Dragon RPG. My name is John, and today I figured I would finally, after having this in my collection for years, finally open my Monster Vault Threats to the Nentir Vale from 4th edition. This, I forget what year this released. 2011. So it retailed for $34.99 US and $40.99 Canadian. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why have you had this in your collection for so long without having opened it? And that's a funny story. So, I actually had a previous copy of this. And quite a few years ago, I did, one of those dumb things that sometimes you do in life where you sell your entire collection. And then you regret it. So I had sold all of my D&D stuff, and it was devastating. Trust me, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't absolutely need to. It was definitely for a good reason. But now that things are different and better, I am starting to collect, the stuff that I've had before. So this was one of the things that I had picked up a couple years ago, but I just hadn't opened it, because I just hadn't played 4th edition in a long time, and so I didn't really see a need to take the shrink wrap off, because I'm already familiar with the product, so I knew what was in here. I just wanted it back in my collection. So, but it felt like the time is right, because I have been picking up some more 4th edition stuff here and there. So I figured, why not do this on film? Gotta be careful here. So I'm just gonna make a little slit, just enough to get my fat fingers in here. Now, the Nentir Vale is a place that I really miss. I wish that they would kind of update it and bring it into 5th edition and do some informational books on it, expanding it and stuff, because I really loved the Nentir Vale. I love that black dragon on the front. So this was a sleeved product, and I will show you why. So the sleeve just comes right off. So this was one of those products, and these are individually sealed, so I'm going to leave these intact, actually, because I still, even though I sold the booklet that I had from before, I still have these tokens, so I don't need to take these out of the shrink wrap. It is kind of nice to have an extra set, but I didn't personally use these tokens a lot back in 4th edition, but I did like the idea of them. So if you didn't have many minis, you could obviously punch these out and use these. The back of these were, you could flip the token over when the creature was bloodied, which was a thing in 4th edition, where when the creature hit half its hit points, it was known as bloodied, and a lot of times they'd have different effects that happen when they became bloodied. So that was an important distinction in 4th edition. And then there's these rings that can pop out to make the creature, a different size, like when you're playing, like medium-sized creature, large-sized creature, gigantic, and all that. So these are kind of nice to have. I'm going to leave those sealed, though, like I said. The meat of, well, first of all, this is just a slip-in advertisement for the Essentials line. So I have all of this. I liked the Essentials line a lot in 4th edition. So that's just the different things you could pick up. Now this, I actually don't remember this. I mean, I had to have had it because I had owned this set before, but this is like a big fold-out map, a gridded map that you could use in your campaign. But this is the meat of this set. So this is like the monster manual type book, soft cover. It still has the spine, the writing on the spine though. So you could have this on your bookshelf. But yes, so this is basically just a monster manual. There's that Cadaver Collector. This was the first time, and I'm sure that the Cadaver Collector maybe was in previous editions of the game. I'm not sure. I've not really looked that up actually, which I'm surprised I haven't. But the first time I noticed the Cadaver Collector was this book, and I was like, oh, that is such a sweet idea for a monster. So definitely one of my favorite creatures. So yeah, this book is basically Monsters of the Vale, with a glossary in the back and then monsters by level at the end of the book. So I am just going to go ahead and go to Cadaver Collector, because I just thought this was awesome. Bloody horrors of the battlefield. These monstrous constructs retrieve the dead and the soon-to-be dead for the dark purposes of their masters. So usually they are controlled by necromancers. Necromancers need, obviously, dead people to create their armies, and that's what the Cadaver Collector is for. I remember my players in my 4th edition game making them take out some of these Cadaver Collectors. That way the necromancer would stop getting all of his dead bodies to utilize. It was just a fun creature to use. And I do miss the way 4th edition did creatures. I really do. I kind of miss the different at-will actions and counter-actions. I know 4th edition gets a lot of hatred. I don't really know why, because a lot of the things in 5th edition that people really like actually came from 4th edition. Which is crazy to me that people don't realize that. So it's almost as if the people that complain about 4th edition never actually played 4th edition. Or else you would think that they would know the things that they like about 5th edition were actually borrowed from 4th edition. So, kind of interesting. Just a little aside there. The art in 4th edition, I think, was also very good. So, but yeah, it is what it is. There's some awesome drow. Yeah, this was definitely one of my favorite books back in the day. I am glad to have it back. I found this in a game I almost said GameStop, in a game shop in Oregon, actually. And this was still, he had like 7 of them in stock. He had actually a lot of 4th edition stuff. I think it was called Fun Again Games in Ashland, Oregon. But, I just was like, wow, he was selling it for retail. So I double-checked eBay, and people were selling them for higher than retail. So I feel like finding this was really awesome. Out in the wild. I love it when game stores still have stock of old product. So I felt really, really lucky that I was able to find this and add it back to my collection and not have to pay some premium marked up price for it. So glad this is back in my collection. What did you guys think? Do you think that, would you like it if they did those creature tokens again? I know trying to keep up with buying miniatures can get super expensive. I thought a product like this, where they had a token for every creature in the book, I thought it was a great idea. and I thought for people that are kind of gaming on a budget, that don't have a lot of money to spend on creatures or miniatures, or don't really want to buy the unpainted ones and paint them, I thought the tokens were really a great idea. So what do you guys think? Was this something that you would use if they re-released, or not re-released, but if they brought out creature tokens to 5th edition, and let's say they just had a pack of, like, for example, Volo's Guide to Monsters creature tokens. Would you buy them and use them, or do you just prefer miniatures? I honestly prefer miniatures, but I could see where this would be super valuable to someone who doesn't have a lot of money to spend on gaming, because I have been there before, and I feel very lucky that I do have some money to put into my hobby now, but I have definitely been there where you just kind of game on a budget, and this is a great way to do it. Packs like this. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below if you played 4th edition and what your thoughts are. Be nice about it. My opinions are obviously my own, and you can have your opinion. If you hate 4th edition, just don't attack me over it. You know, let's keep it peaceful. I really enjoy the gaming community, and you know, I don't think there's any sense in everyone hating on each other for their different gaming preferences, but I personally really enjoyed 4th edition. I thought it was a breath of fresh air and something different. The Nentir Vale, though, I wish they would bring this into 5th edition and expand on some of the lore of the Nentir Vale. So, alright guys, I will talk to you all in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you all soon. Bye.